Check, check, check. And we ought to be live here right about now. Let's see if anybody comes in to join, hang out. Maybe. Hey, there's RJ. What's up, man? Thank you for coming to hang out with me here on Saturday. I'm hoping a few other people come and hang out as well. Yeah, Robert Ainsworth is with us. Happy Easter, sir. And Mr. Park Kingery is here with us as well. I am curious because I set up this live stream at literally like 4 o'clock in the morning, and if I look like I am a little on the sleepy side, that is because I literally got out of bed about 15 minutes ago, went downstairs and got me some coffee and fed my dog, fed Zoe real quick, and then came up here and hit the live button. So I did set it up well in advance. Hey, Dave. Dave's here. Chris Jensen's here. Can you guys hear me okay, I assume? I think I've about got this OBS thing figured out. I got the little audio capture bar in front of me and OBS bouncing back and forth as I'm talking into said microphone, and I can even hear it coming back out of my monitors just a little bit. So okay, cool, good deal. So anyway, if I look like I'm a little bit on the sleepy side, that is because I literally just rolled out of bed here about 20 minutes ago. But that's okay. I will get moving here when here just before too long, as soon as my coffee gets to work. So I have decided that I am gonna try doing my live streams here on Saturdays for a while. Pardon me. And the reason for that is there's a couple of reasons. Number one, Saturday afternoons are typically a day that I have the house all to myself, so I can talk in my loud, boomy, obnoxious YouTube voice and not worry about disturbing my wife downstairs, or in the room behind me or whatever she might be doing, because she doesn't like when I talk in my loud, boomy, obnoxious YouTube voice. So I am going to have I'm gonna try to do this here on Saturdays, because I'm usually sitting at this desk editing video anyway, and then Saturday's video is now going to go live tomorrow morning at, I can't remember if I set it for 9 or 10 a.m., but I think 9. So they are going to go on Sundays now. So it looks like videos are gonna be Sundays and Wednesdays for a while. So anyway, but that is my motivation for doing this, among other things. And I just kind of feel like if I am in a spot where I don't have to worry about disturbing the missus, or anybody else in the house, other than Zoe, and she doesn't care because she's just gonna sleep anyway. If I can do that without disturbing anybody, and that hopefully I might be able to have a little bit more fun and crack a few more stupid jokes, and hopefully you guys will. The most importantly, really, is that you guys get more enjoyment out of coming to hang out with me here every week or so. So that says, let's see, Dave's Guitars all had a full day of travel yesterday. Where'd you go? That coffee's hot. Wow. Oregon, whoa, that is a full day of travel. North Carolina, are you down there hanging out with Park? Robert Ainsworth is correct. Indiana weather does suck today. And I don't mean by just a little bit, like it's, cold and rainy and dreary and, just lousy Indiana weather. The day before Easter. So, what do you do? That's Indiana. You know what we say around here. If you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes. Park, are you North or South Carolina? I can't remember which. Oh, Dave, sorry to hear about your grandfather. South Carolina. Okay, well, you see, here's the thing, up here for us Colts fans in Indiana, because we only play the Panthers like once every 4 years or so, and they're just the Carolina Panthers. So to us in football terms, it's both Carolinas are really just like one great big Carolina, So that's why I always get you confused. Dave Simpson has been hit with a copyright flag for 4 chords played with a drum machine as a backing track. Oh boy. Yeah, I saw it's the plot thickened yesterday as we speak. I can't remember exactly whose video I saw another video that this was a guy. Let me see if I can find it, actually, and I actually shared it on Facebook, because this one was one of the stupidest, craziest ones that I have seen yet. Let's see if I can find it here. Because I actually watched it on Facebook, and there was one here, YouTube, Gus Johnson. I know that he got, one of his videos got flagged for merely talking about Bohemian Rhapsody. Talking about it. All he said. Yeah, that's what it was. Matt Jarbo. I'll post a link here in the comments.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is
Nope.
Your Days, and I love YouTube. I'm on YouTube.
Nope, not Matt Jarbo. Mundane Matt. I don't know. It was somebody I was not familiar with. The Fat Rat. That's who it was.
Copyright protection and media law.
Yeah, it was Fix YouTube. I'm sorry. Here, check this out. Let me show you guys what I'm looking at. It was this dude. Let me get the link. I'm not familiar with him, but this is a video that he's had up with 47 million views. This was a song that he wrote. He paid other musicians to perform vocals and sing on. And, I mean, this is absolutely 100% his material. And, it got a copyright flag on it. And, not only did it get a copyright flag, but he, of course, YouTube wouldn't moderate it or get in the middle of it as they always do, or as they never do, I should say. And they, in the process, apparently the people that put the copyright claim on it, was I can't remember the name of the company, but of course they are now. No, the only thing that they have is an email. They won't respond back to him. Their Twitter account has miraculously been shut down. Their Facebook account has miraculously, disappeared. Website has been taken down. All that stuff, and it's, that's a lot of money, for this dude to be missing out on. Still gets him views every single day. It's a very, very popular song that he's written, and that's done very well for him. So. I posted the link here in the chat. I encourage everybody at some point to go check out this video. And if you do, I followed his advice, or not his advice, but his request, and I shared it on my social media pages with the hashtag Fix YouTube Copyright. And hopefully, I don't know if they'll, he's got, unlike most other YouTubers, this guy's got money and resources and high-powered attorneys. So, I'm pretty confident that he's going to be able to, get what's owed to him. But, it's ridiculous. Let's see here. Hey, I just got an alert to my own live stream. Cool. 15 minutes ago, or 15 minutes late. Let me get caught up on seeing a few people here ask a few comments, or ask a few questions. Let's see. Kyle Germano says, do you usually film videos in a guitar shop? No. Just about, 99.999% of my videos have all been filmed here in my own home. I probably get this question more than any other question that I get. Where, do you film videos in a shop? Where's your shop? I want to come check it out, all that kind of stuff. No, you're not going to come check it out because it's in my house and I'm not giving you my address. So, but yeah, everything you see, all the gear behind me, I own it. That's just, the collection that I have amassed over the years. The kids have their own room, so to speak. And, so that's my main cave more than anything. Park Kingery says, pick a number from 1 to 10. Is this a pull my finger kind of thing? How about, lucky number 7? And let's see. Joe Hervey 84 is here. He always just jumps in and says, Robert. So I said, Joe. Yes, Park did see that. He did see that, or watch that video that I shared yesterday and shared it on Facebook. Well, let's see. Michael D is with us. How are you, Michael? Thank you for coming to hang out with us. Hopefully this Saturday thing ends up working out better for everybody. Hopefully a few more people trickle in here. Okay, we're up to 16 now. Let's see. Afternoon, what did I miss? So far, we're more of this copyright stuff is, we're discovering is getting more and more out of hand. So, we've mentioned that a little bit. And I am basically just kind of hanging out here, being loud and obnoxious with my loud and obnoxious YouTube voice. And see if anybody's got any, got any questions or requests or anything like that for me. So, and Dave has just driven literally all the way across the country here in the last 24 hours or so. Three separate companies claim the 4 chords. Wow. Unbelievable. I think I might just see if I can, almost play play a recognizable song a few times just to see if it does get copied, just to see if it gets flagged. Pardon me. I think YouTube needs a new claim team to go through these claims a lot better. Well, it's all handled electronically, basically, and they won't. They're not going to pay somebody to do it. That's why they created the algorithm to handle it, and unfortunately, the algorithm really, really sucks. Now, Pete Thorne brought up a really good point here a couple of weeks ago, and that is that all this copyright stuff really is not on YouTube. This is all on the new Article 13 thing over in the UK, or I'm sorry, over in Europe, I guess it is, all of Europe, and it's a new article, that new Article 13, which and I don't know all the details of that, but it's a new copyright law, or a new set of copyright laws over in the UK that are allowing owners of various different content to claim more than what they had previously, or something like that. Anyway, I'm sure there, somebody here. I'm sure Dave always seems to know this kind of stuff, so I bet he might be able to elaborate a little bit more on the details of Article 13. But it's the record labels and the the legal teams of various different of record labels anyway that are placing all these copyright claims needlessly. So it's not YouTube, and YouTube won't moderate YouTube claims. The way that it works is if one of those legal teams from a from a record label, if they see something in one of my videos, let's take my stupid kazoo video that got flagged, and they didn't take it down, but they are making me share the monetization of it. It was when I covered For Whom the Bell Tolls with an electric kazoo in that video, and they take that video, or I'm sorry, they say, oh hey, that doesn't, For Whom the Bell Tolls does not belong to him. Copyright claim comes to me through YouTube. YouTube says, hey, these people are claiming copyright infringement on this video for your use of For Whom the Bell Tolls. And for the record, I did not use For Whom the Bell Tolls. I used a backing track for Whom the Bell Tolls. Drums and bass, and I don't think it was the original recordings. At least to my knowledge, it wasn't. And played an electric kazoo over it. Well, to them that was close enough. So they stick a copyright claim on it. I have the ability through YouTube to be able to go through and say, nope, this is not copyrighted. Here is why I believe that I have the rights to everything in this video, and here's why, and state my case. From that point, the entity filing the copyright claim, it is entirely in their, it is entirely in their court. And what happened to me was they said, nope, we still think it's copyright infringement, therefore part of the monetization is ours. Monetization of the entire video, by the way. The other 7 artists that I covered, the other 7 songs, 7 cover songs in that video that I covered by 7 other artists are all fine. But now, the people that own the rights to for whom the bell tolls are now claiming copyrights on all are now claiming partial monetization on that entire video, not just the little 30-second stretch or 90-second stretch or whatever it was that is actually where the claim is. And that is where it's really beginning to get out of hand. So, like I said, there's a lot of people that are losing a lot of money because of it. Pardon me. And there's nothing I can do about it at that point. I mean, well, there is, I do have the option. YouTube does give me the option at that point to go in and, and dispute it further. However, if I do not, or if I decide to do so and they still come back and say, nope, our content, that's our song, we still claim the rights to it, end of story, and they can do that without looking into it at all. It is, they don't have to do anything, except say yay or nay. And if that happens to me, number one, I get a copyright strike on my channel. I risk my entire channel becoming demonetized, and then a lot of legal stuff can come my way. So, a lot of legal stuff that I don't want can come my way. So, I am all for artists getting paid, getting what they are due, and getting paid for, music they created. I'm all for it, but, there is parts of the American copyright laws anyways, what they call it, free use, or, for various different purposes, be it educational or otherwise, I think that need to be looked at and updated significantly. Let's see. Michael says, anyone got any new tax refund gear purchases to chat about? Unfortunately, I don't. I think we're getting a total of about $200 back on our taxes this year, but and we would have owed quite a bit if I didn't have, a fair amount of purchases for my YouTube channel that I got to claim this year. So that is the only reason. And if we did get back a big tax return, I am quite sure I would not be allowed to buy guitar gear with it. I am quite sure I would be taking Mrs. Jackson on a very nice vacation someplace. And I'm probably going to end up doing that anyway. Here at some point. Joe Hervey 84 says, Robert, what do you think about the MXR full bore metal pedal? Just had one gifted to me. I hate that pedal. No mid range whatsoever. I've never been able to get anything decent out of it. Now, last time I played one, I've never tried going straight into the try the effects loop preamp method that the world has recently discovered with the Metal Zone. Haven't tried that yet. That may sound a lot different. I don't know. I'm a lot more open-minded with metal distortions than I am, of course, than I am fuzz pedals. So, I don't know. If one landed in my lap, I'd try it out just to see what's what. But, that's one I've never had a lot of good luck with. Chris Jennison says it's a good time for a live stream here in Spain, 6:18 p.m. Good to know Spain is 6 hours ahead of me. BFG. Michael says Saturday is a good day, is a good stream day for me, as I'm always running errands on Sunday. Okay, good deal. There's so many notes. I'd take 3 days best. Okay, you guys are chatting amongst yourselves. S-Fear6 says, play metal on your guitar while chatting. I will probably plug into it into Pro Tools here in a second. Or in a couple of minutes anyway. Park's sending me photos. Let's see. Music is going to sound funny with everyone playing in Locrian mode. Whoa, Dave, it took you 12 hours to fly from Oregon to North Carolina. Wow. I could see a 6-hour day, but I didn't think it would be all day. In USA has joined us. Todd Flowers is here. Bam Mozzie. Howdy, y'all. I think Bam may have seen me for the first time on Guitar Hacks channel, if memory serves. I could be wrong about that, though. Let's see. I need a minute or two to get caught up here in the chat. Let's see. Wow. Way backed up. Robert Ainsworth says, so they're just being snowflakes. I wouldn't call it snowflakes. I'd call it, dirty, corrupt, dirty, corrupt attorneys and corporations taking advantage of the copyright laws and, putting more and more money in their pocket. And in their defense, it's getting tougher for the record labels to make money nowadays, with all of the tools. I could record an entire album right now with everything just about that I have sitting here in front of me right now. I have virtual drums. I'd have to get up and go get a bass, but I have virtual drums. I can record guitar, I can record bass, I can mix, I can master, and from there I could send it to a DistroKid or something like that for copyright and distribution process, and all of that process has taken a lot of coin out of the record labels' pockets, because there's not as much of a need for the record labels anymore as there used to be. Everybody's able to do it on their own now. So now their lawyers are combing through the legal books and trying to scrounge up every dime that they can and taking it from whoever they can just to stay alive. Let's see here. Joe Hervey says, please hit the thumbs up. Yes, please hit the thumbs up if you haven't here already. Thumbs ups are good. Believe it or not, thumbs downs are good too, because YouTube views thumbs ups and thumbs downs as the exact same. So if you hit a thumb up and thumb down, all that does tell me that you don't like me or you don't like my video or some kind, but that still works in my favor. Let's see. How do you like... Oh, okay. You guys are still talking about Dave's new BFG Les Paul. Big money grabbing corporation. Yep, that is correct. It's Bam Ozzy says it's the big bully money grabbing corporations versus the little YouTube channel. That's exactly correct. And they can pick on me all they want because they know I'm never gonna have the resources to be able to fight it. However, that one dude, the Fat Rat, on the other hand, he does. So he's got a legal team in LA, I think, that is going to work, or I'm sure has already gone to work. Park Kingery says, I honestly think it should be left up to the artist to file a claim or not. The thing is in most of these cases, the artist doesn't own the music. The record label does. And, Metallica have always been, they've always been pretty cool with their fans. And before anybody brings up the whole Napster thing, that was about people actually literally bootlegging their music that they had recorded, and getting a hold of their music for free. That's what that was about. They wanted to be able to get paid for their own record sales. It was not, Napster was not at all about, about cover tunes or anything like that. They've always been very, very cool about that. Which, I've got two videos, two videos with Metallica as the subject that, have since I'm sharing monetization with. But that wasn't, it's not Metallica that is, that's forcing that hand. That is their, stupid dipshit record, the record label. And apparently, Rick Beato went on a rant about this a couple of weeks ago, and apparently the company, whether it's EMI or it's, Warner Music Group or Sony or Atlantic Records or any of them. Apparently, the legal team that handles all that stuff, it's the same company for all of them. So, it's literally whoever's at the top of that corporation that is kicking back with his feet up on the desk and taking money from everybody. So. Let's see. RJ the Mad One up in the top chat says, Robert, are you still doing the Patreon page? Notice link is not clickable in the description section below. Yeah, I am. That's weird. Let me check. It's not clickable. Well, it's not clickable for me anyway, but because it's editable for me. But yeah, I just copied and pasted it. HTTPS, don't forget the S, / www.patreon.com/Robert's Guitar Dungeon. And there's the become. Here, I'll show you guys. I forgot I could do that now. Thanks to Mr. OBS. Turn that off, turn that on. And we go here, that's your web address, the same one that is posted down in the description. And, click the Become a Patreon. And that should get you here to this here page here. And you can sign up and if you like to support the channel. So, which is obviously, which I'm very, very grateful for any support from you guys that I do get through Patreon or Teespring sales or other stuff like that. Any other avenues that I may have. And realistically, I guess that's probably about all the avenues. And of course, views and subscribers and all that kind of stuff. That means more to me than anything. So. Let's see. You guys are still talking Nighthawks. Still talking Nighthawks, at least where I'm at in the chat. And you guys probably hear my dog Zoe going nuts downstairs. She is usually quiet as a mouse. And, here in the house, she doesn't, she rarely barks until a car drives by. A car drives by or somebody walks by the house out front. Then she's got to go haywire. That is literally the only time that she barks inside. But when she does, she's got to carry on about it for a couple 3 minutes, and that's she's the dog. That's her job. So let's see, RJ. Let's see, Michael, RJ, and Dave. I wonder if you guys all must have hung out in somebody else's live stream here recently because you're all acting like it. Well, I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong. Robert Ainsworth wants me. Please go get my Kramer. All right, I'll go get it. Hang on a sec. There she blows. One Kramer, 1984 Kramer Focus, which I think I read last week that Gibson Kramer are actually reissuing this guitar. So I know they have a new model called, I believe it's just called the 1984, which I believe is based on the Focus. I think it might be based on like one of the other Focus models, one of the, mine's just the one with the single pickup, but let's see. Park says that's number 7 of 14 I'm building. That must be, I haven't had a chance to check my phone yet. I'll check it here when we're done though. So he must be sending me pedals, or pictures of pedals. Let's see. Say the mad one. Let's see. RJ, chat is still acting screwy. Are you still doing? Okay. Link below, not clickable. All right. I just checked. I already covered that. Michael just thumbed up. Thank you, sir. Let's see. Yep, it's all participation. It's all participation. I guess I don't know what you mean by that. Okay. Those throw me so out of whack. I'm the only. Okay, you guys are still talking about Dave's travel. Etc. David Tate Sr. has joined us. Let's see here. And then my chat jumped all the way down and I lost it. He says Comcast turned me in for getting 2 Roger Allen Wade videos using a downloader from Chrome. Interesting. Nice to see you again. Nice to see you too, sir. Joe Hervey 84 says any over-the-ear headphones, $30 or less for guitar from Amazon that's worth buying. The ones that used to be the best ones were the Sennheiser used to make a pair of headphones that I've got a pair of them around here somewhere. That were right around the $30 range. The problem with those was, Sennheiser quit making them because they had to literally sell like. I was just asking the Sennheiser rep about this a few weeks ago. He said literally they had to sell like 1,000, or I'm sorry, way over 1 million units just to be able to break even on them, and they did. They made money, but it took a lot longer than they wanted it to, I think. But for $30 pair of headphones, they're pretty good. Unfortunately, those aren't really around anymore. $30 headphones. Check the Audio Technica stuff. The Tascams. Tascam's got a couple of $30 models. Marantz. There's a couple of very affordable models of Marantz headphones. I've got a couple pairs of those, and the Cat Audio. I think any of those brands, you can get some pretty decent headphones depending on what you're needing. You can get some pretty decent headphones for right in that price range. So yeah, Todd Flowers, Behringer HPS 3000s. Those are right in line with some of those other that I mentioned. Let's see. Always been. We did. You guys are all hanging out in Tone King's live stream last night. I see. Okay. Still getting caught up in the chat here, and I think I'm close. You guys are chatty today. Joe says I'll check it out today. Yeah, $30. Yeah. Yeah, check Amazon, check Musician's Friend. I know Musician's Friend's got all kinds of stuff in that price range. So, YouTube having issues. Somebody said YouTube having issues with chat feature today. Seems, I think it's about 10 minutes behind. Yeah, it might be YouTube, it might be OBS, and more. It could very well be. I don't know if anybody else seen any other live streams today, but it could also very well be the a setting that I've got in OBS or something here. I don't know. I'm still. You guys know me and my growing pains with this live stream technology and software stuff. So, RJ, thank you, brother. Let's see, Panasonic. Yep, Panasonic's always got good stuff. One of my cameras is a Panasonic that has treated me very well. Ads during live stream. Probably an occasional one if I had to guess. So. Sean Zimmerman, what's up with the Tiger Woods mock turtleneck? Well, if you're not a PGA or a golf fanatic like I am, Tiger Woods won the Masters tournament last week, which was his first major tournament win in 11 years, and his first time he's won the Masters, I think, in 14, which puts him that gives him his 15th major win. He is now 3 back in all-time major wins from the great Jack Nicklaus. So, and all of a sudden, his career has a lot more steam than it did, a year or two ago, and it's quite possible he could end up breaking the great Jack Nicklaus's major record, because all of a sudden the rest of the guys are scared of him again. But anyway, all 4 days of the tournament last weekend, he was wearing a Nike mock turtleneck, and I'm happy to see Tiger, getting his career back on track. He's without a doubt one of if not the greatest golfer that's ever walked this planet. And if you have a love for the game of golf like I do, watch him do what he does. When he's on fire like that, it's pretty amazing. So yeah, I want a Tiger Woods mock turtleneck. Tin Man 28's joined us. Welcome to you. He says, any suggestions for budget alternative to Evertune? Ooh. I don't think there is an alternative to Evertune bridges. I think those are new enough. The patent is still theirs and has not run out. I don't know that anybody, I think legally nobody can make it other than Evertune. You know, I think their patent is still good on it. You know, I'm not sure about that though. You know, I mean, the Evertune bridges really didn't start to get popular again till here probably in the last 5 years, maybe. I don't know. You know, which is, you know, I mean, I think they came out. The first time I saw one was about 6 or 7 years ago, and you know, they kind of slowly began to gain popularity. So. Michael D says, my brother-in-law had me order his Tiger Woods turtleneck the day Tiger won the Masters while I was on the phone at the office. I didn't make anybody, you know, drop and order one, but I'm just trying to raise a few bucks so I can, you know. I don't know. We'll see. While I'm thinking about it, Joe Hervey says, Robert, thoughts about solar guitars? I haven't gotten to play one yet. You know, unfortunately. Ooh, that's out of tune. So, he has, you know, the solar guitars are not very easy to get a hold of because they're direct order only at this point. So, you know, I don't know if Robert Ainsworth, thank you, brother. Thank you very much appreciated. You know, he has, you know, at this point, you know, he's still, you know, even though they're being mass produced over China, they're actually, you know, a very, very small company, and distribution is, you know, direct or bust. So I have not had a chance to play one yet, and matter of fact, I haven't even seen one in person. But everything I've heard about him has been nothing short of awesome. So everybody that I have interacted with that has one or has played one says they're absolutely top-notch guitars. So he has, you know, they're pretty badass, you know, from what I can tell. And I know he's got a couple of models with an Evertune bridge on it. So I'm actually curious about the Evertune stuff, about the Evertune bridges myself. I kind of want to see what all the hype is about. The solar guitars, everything that I've heard has been nothing but positive. So, you know, I kind of want to see what everything's about with them. You know? They're making one with a poplar top or an alder. Oh, Tolman's selling them. Okay, well, that's a plus. Unfortunately, that's not the music retailer that I work for, and I can get them at cost at. So, I don't know how to get deals at Tolman. Yeah, the Type E Explorers. I've actually also had my you know, been licking my chops for a Chapman Ghost Fret for a while now too. Ever since the first time I saw one of those. Those are supposed to be really, really good guitars as well. How come the audio is only in mono? You know what? I wish I knew. I really, really wish I knew. I'm sure it's a setting in here somewhere. You know, who knows? Probably this damn OBS thing. Let's hit the settings button, see what comes up. English output. So, okay. source alignment snapping. Preview, studio mode, multi-view. I don't know. I don't know where it is. Let's see. Audio input capture. That's correct. That is correct. Use device timestamps. Okay, sure, why not? Let's see what audio output capture is. Also the same. I don't have any idea. No idea. Just your voice, the guitar stereo. That makes even more. Okay, I have. That's weird. Maybe I got a bad mic cable. I wouldn't think. I literally just pulled this mic cable out of the package the other day, so I wouldn't think that was it. But who knows? One more thing I'll have to go through and mess with here at a later date. I need to watch a few tutorial videos on this OBS thing to make sure I got it set up right, because I'm not sure that I do. I know I at least got it set up well enough where you guys can see me and I can, and hear me and all that kind of stuff. So, but it won't stream, if I log into Pro Tools, for example, though. Just for kicks. Maybe. There we go. So what I'm trying to do is get logged into Pro Tools and then see if it will actually stream the audio from there. But I've not been able to figure out how to get it to do that yet. Just okay. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's no bother at all. I'm just, like I said, I'm sure it's a setting in there somewhere that I don't understand. I certainly would hope to get the understanding of this here get the hang of this here at some point, but if we go what is that? So that's with a is the XLR plug converted to a TS plug? No, it's an XLR to XLR. So now it's streaming, but you got clean on one side and distortion on the other. I've had that same problem in my headphones, and I figured, I'm sure that was something else I was doing, but well, I don't know. I'm not sure it's a YouTube issue. I think it's probably a Pro Tools, and it's probably something, a setting I got here somewhere that I don't know that I have set. Is what it is, I guess. Yep, I don't know. That thing needs. That guitar needs to be set up. Yeah, I have no idea. No idea. Oh well. Yep, probably a copyright strike coming in on this video, so click the $ icon while we can. Dave Simpson got copyright strike. Dave Simpson got a copyright strike for an original song today. Wow. Yep. Well, that's the fat. What's that? What's it? I keep forgetting that dude's screen name. The Fat Rat. 3.6 million subscribers this dude has over in Europe somewhere. 3.6 million. Paid, wrote the song himself. Wrote his own tune. That video has 4.7 million views on it. Paid somebody to sing the vocals on it. Paid other musicians to play on the track. Paid somebody to do the artwork for it. 4.7 million views. And somebody put a copyright strike on it, and he can't do anything about it. Well, he can't, he can. Fortunately, he has the necessary... he's got money, and he's got the resources that I think he's going to be able to get that shit straightened out right away. Pardon my language. So, YouTube has to be looking into this. I mean, this as I mentioned before, this is not on them. And the reason why they're wanting to stay out of it is because they don't want to have to pay out any of their legal fees. Legal fees that they would have to pay to their legal team for getting in the middle of all this stuff. So, they are staying out of it. And, as far as, any kind of disputes. However, it's not doing anything except hurting them because, when, channels and videos get demonetized, views go down. When views go down, YouTube doesn't get to show as many ads, and it's hurting everybody. So, I don't know. I disagree. I think YouTube I think they care quite a bit. They have to be looking into this because, like I said, if nothing else, this is hurting them too. So, I think they care quite a bit. But it's, especially in the corporate world, when you're getting into legal stuff like this, especially when money's involved, nothing this doesn't happen. It doesn't change overnight. It takes some time. So. Right. Yeah, Bam Mozzie says shouldn't have used a DSUS4 chord. Right. Yeah, apparently somebody has a copyright on the DSUS4. Oh boy. I think Gene Simmons actually copyrighted the Devil's Horn hand signal. a year or two ago. And even though it was Ronnie James Dio that made that popular. J Dog says, I have now copywritten any notes played on the first 3 frets. Oh man, wouldn't that be nice? Especially since everybody knows there's no money past the 5th fret. So, as they say in Nashville, he lost. Are you sure? I thought that was a done deal. The Ronnie James Dio estate must have gotten involved in that, and and shelled out the money to their attorneys. Ed, who's Ed? Refill. I'm just grabbing this one because it's closest. Am I the only vapor in here? Ah. As soon as I fill this thing back up, I'll show you. There we go. I actually have not had an actual cigarette in over like 5.5 years now. So I suppose I should probably work on trying to kick the e-cig, but better than tobacco, I guess. Now this is Mr. E-Liquid Pure Michigan Ice with a little bit of menthol in it. This is my favorite flavor, and I order these in the big 135 milliliter bottles, and I still managed to go through them pretty quickly, but yeah, no, it's a strawberry menthol with a little bit of apple in it. So smoking cigarettes, you're right, is a ton of money. But vaping is I bet you just in the last 5 years, I bet you I've saved thousands compared to what I was paying for cigarettes. That 5-6 years ago, and I know cigarettes have gone up at least once or twice since then. God, what was I was paying, what was that, 40, 80, $100 a month or something on cigarettes. So and I was never a full pack a day guy. I was a half pack to 3/4 of a pack a day kind of guy. And these things got me to taper off and put it down pretty quick, and I wasn't even trying. Just kind of worked out that way. I realized I didn't need to go out for a cigarette every hour or two anymore. The hand sign he tried to get a copyright on it. Well, Jimmy, now that Superfly signal had the thumb. He had the thumb out. When you jump off the top rope, he always had it was like the Hawaiian, it's actually, I think, the Hawaiian hand sign for I love you is what that means. The Devil's Horns has no thumb, and it's just the horn, so to speak, that was first introduced by Ronnie James Dio when he was on stage, and he learned that from his grandmother, I believe, used to use that hand signal when he was growing up to ward off evil spirits. Which, ironically, it since became known as the Devil's Horns. Bam Ozzy doesn't drink alcohol. I don't either. I haven't had a drink in almost 21 years. Be 21 years next month. Exactly, more money for cigars. Yeah, I work with a lot of people that are switching over to those Juuls. Those are nicotine's a little bit too potent in those things though for me to want to give those a shot. Those things are like either 25 or 50 milligram or something. I know it's a much smaller hit, but yeah, Christopher Talley has joined the soiree. It's great to see you again. I had a couple. Oh man, that sucks. You had a couple guitars stolen. Police did notify the pawn shop, and they were stolen. They got put on the floor. What can you do? If you've got a police report filed, and especially if you have serial numbers and everything. I mean, the first thing you need to do is you need to contact the, whatever station or officer or whatever it was that wherever you filed the police report. You need to let them know that you found them at the pawn shop, because the police aren't going to look for them. They just have to have it on file for if they do turn up stolen, if they do turn up somewhere. And if you found them, you need to, number one, you need to tell the pawn shop owner and show him the police report. By the way, you need to alert them. You need to get the police involved. And unfortunately, it's not as easy of a process. At least in I've never had anything stolen like that, but I have had friends that have gone through it, and when that happens, it's not as an easy process of just pawn shop. Oh, sorry, here's your stuff back. There's a whole legal process that they got to go through. It's liable to take a bit before you get your gear back. But the first thing you need to do, you gotta let the police know that you've located them. You gotta tell the pawn shop that you located them, and show them the copy of the police report. To let them know, make sure and show them that, because that tells them, okay, this is stolen. We don't want to be selling stolen gear. That is, selling stolen gear is bad news bears for a pawn shop. Especially if it's something that about the only way that I think they get around that is if it's something of value that the owner who it was stolen from had it insured and the insurance company paid out on it already. Then they're safe. But in this instance, no. J-Dog says, I thought of buying and selling gear as a side hustle. What do you think about that? Do you have any suggestions? Buy cheap, man. I was flipping guitars there for a while, and guitars and pedals and amps, and I was doing okay at it. It's what I found myself doing was being open to trading for other gear if the gear that was being offered to me was something that I thought I could eventually sell for more, trade up a little bit, so to speak. So and then of course have it, whatever it is that you've got, have it listed on Reverb or eBay or Craigslist or whatever your method of selling gear might be, whatever your favorite platform might be. Have it listed there at all times, and just and be ready to ship. To do it on the side, unfortunately as do not get to offer the same buying prices to the public as as a guitar shop or a pawn shop or something like that would. So if for example, if I've got a used Fender American Strat that I think is worth $700, I can't offer the guy selling it, or let me start over. If I see for sale a Fender American Strat that I think is I can get $700 out of it, I can't I can't go up to that individual and offer them $450 like I would, had they brought it into me when I was a Guitar Center. There's no way to the right mind you might get it, but you might be able to get it for $600 or $650, and just depending on, and I don't condone taking advantage of people who are desperate for money. By the way, unfortunately, a lot of people that flip gear, that's what they're doing. They're taking advantage of people that are, they need the money for, more important things than guitars and music. Those people really irritate me. But I don't know, man. It's tough because right now, the way that the used market seems to, the used market seems to be falling at the moment is, everybody is trying to get top dollar for their gear. I haven't, with the exception of David Gabe, he's got some stuff for sale right now at a really, really good at some really good prices, but he's being fair and reasonable and sane about it, to be honest. But he's not, he's the exception, not the rule. So, it's tough, and it's tough to get anybody to come down their prices. I kind of got away from it for that reason. Just, everybody wants to sell their stuff right now for top dollar. Nobody's buying anything. So, Christopher Townley says, "What can I do to prevent that if it happened again?" Keep serial numbers of all your gear documented. Keep that document in a safe place. They're saved on your computer somewhere where nobody's gonna be able to get it. Print it out. Print it out and lock it in a safe. Something like that. You want to be able to get a hold of it. At the end of the day, serial numbers or any other identifying factors about it are going to be the only way that it can be identified. Naked 100 Green Blast, green apple, kiwi, and melon. I think I've got a little bit left of a pina colada menthol flavor from them. So I like the menthol flavors. Gorilla TC35 for free. Those old Gorilla amps. I'm pretty convinced that Gorilla amps are just around, just came to be so the people that actually, that love the great solid states back then, so that they had something to hate on. Even though I actually really, really love Crate Solid State amps. I am probably going to see if I can't track down a Crate Solid State 212, and what I really want to do a video, of a recording of that amp, and then not tell anybody what it is, and see the reaction that I get out of it. But that may not work now that I just gave that little tidbit away. Way to go, Robert. Ibanez RG120 with everything replaced. Yeah, and that's another bad thing about spending that kind of money in upgrades, especially in cheap guitars, because at the end of the day, the guitar still, the way that the police are going to view it is, the guitar's as an $80 Ibanez, regardless how much money you put into it. Rockin' Dave Byron has joined the party. What's up, Dave? Looks like he's in and out, but Bam Mosley says, buy gear in the U.S., come to the U.K. and sell it. Guitar prices are high here. I know the same problem in Australia, too. When I was at Guitar Center one time, there was one dude that... one guy that came in he was here for a few, working, his company sent him over here for a few years. He was from Australia, and he bought all the guitars that he could possibly buy while he was here, because one time he bought he bought a Mexican Strat for like $500 because he said that same guitar was 700 or 800 back in Australia, or the whatever the Australian dollar is equivalent to ours. But kind of some Jack White nasty junk sound. Acoustic brand amps. I actually like those. I've got 2 of their acoustic amps, and I really like them. Always have. Robert Ainsworth has a Crate and a Gorilla. I don't have anything against either one of those brands. The Gorillas still pop up every now and again on the used market. I imagine if you search for them on Reverb, you'll probably see quite a few. The Crate amps, I don't know. That's the Crate amps, were the line 6 of my childhood. So, we were all playing through high gain Crate solid state combos, and because that's what was available. Crate, and then a lot of the silver sided Peavey stuff, but most everybody had Crates, man, because they had the heaviest distortion. So the exchange rate is $1.30 to £1, and my last guitar cost the equivalent of $5,800. That had to be a high-end Les Paul. Wow. Or a PRS or a Fender Custom Shop. There's all kinds of. I guess there's lots of stuff that's that high end. Crate Blue Voodoo tube amps kicked ass. Yes, they did. I had one of those. I'm still kicking myself for getting rid of it. I love that amp. It was I had a BV120 the first year, the one with what they call the cartoon logo on it, and the 412. I didn't have the vintage 30 412, and those are next to impossible to find. I just had the standard 412, but it still sounded killer. I always looked at that amp as a poor man's JCM 900. Dave says, Dave Byron that is, says, hey Robert, I have an old Crate GT120 solid state head, no digital effects, and a 412 slant cab with 75 watt Celestion speakers in mint condition. It sounds great. Or should I say Crate? Oh yeah, all of us old metalheads did play those Crates. We absolutely did. Like I said, that if you're from our generation, you grew up in the 80s and 90s. Chances are, your first amp or your first several practice amps, that's what you had. I don't even think I began to learn about tube amps until I was in my 20s, maybe. I don't know. My Blue Voodoo was my first tube amp. So, yeah, God, man, that thing sounds killer. That thing sounded awesome. I wish I had I more than doubled my money on it, so I can't complain. But, and I've been playing it for several years at that point, so I was kind of sick of it. But at that time, but man, I wish I had it back. Ben bought a PRS private stock with that kind of money. They're both horrible. Just Todd Flowers is back with us. I'm sorry. Bam Mozzie's guitar is a 2018 PRS Hollow Body 2. Yep, which those do have one-piece maple tops and backs. We sold a few of those at the store when I was at Guitar Center. Those are high-dollar guitars. They're not private stock, but they're awfully close. PRS makes some nice stuff. I'd like to have like a custom 24 or something. I never really used to. I didn't get them just because the first every time I heard one or played one, it just didn't sound. Just didn't grab me. But then one time I was at a buddy's gig, hanging out watching them, and they were a band called Full Circle. Matter of fact, I just shared this this memory on my Facebook page this morning, and they were playing at a bar here in Indianapolis called Whiskey Business. And they were a hard rock metal cover band. So they invited me up on stage, to play a song with them. And that's the guitar that he handed me was his Custom 24. And I'm a minute or two into the song, and I'm like, okay, I think I get it now, because that guitar felt and sounded awesome. And that was the day that I had a newfound discovery, a newfound appreciation for PRS. So, J-Dog says, I'm 20 years younger than you, but I find myself buying the gear you had when you were my age. A lot of the gear that I had when I was your age is all of a sudden a lot more valuable now than it was then. Like that Kramer guitar that I got behind me that I went and grabbed here a few minutes ago. I got, somebody gave me that guitar because it had been sitting in an attic for 15 years at that point, and nobody wanted anything to do with it. So I mean, I'm okay, sure. So I took it and cleaned it up and set it up and swap the original. I don't have the original, the original pickup is not in it. I swapped it out for a Duncan Distortion, but I do still have the original pickup. It's in the case. It came with a Kramer hard shell case, but still, it was just back then. It was just viewed as a cheap entry level guitar, and now I've seen those things go for $5. Especially now that Gibson's relaunching Kramer the right way. Valued, it's worth $600 or $700. $5 or $6 anyway. Let's see. A Taste of War from Indianapolis Rock. Yep. Well, the band. Well, let's see. That was after Jeff had been released from Spanky's Clubhouse, and that was how Full Circle was born. And then Jeff ended up. They ended up getting Jeff back into Spanky's Clubhouse, and Full Circle was still kind of doing the side thing for a while. And then finally, I think Jeff Styles wanted to go do his own thing, and that was it. Well, no, I'm sorry. Jeff, both Jeffs went and played in Spanky's Clubhouse for a while, and then Jeff Styles wanted to get back to writing original music. And as talented as that guy is, I don't know. Yeah, Schecter makes great guitars, man. Schecter, their quality is top notch across all price points. All price points, man. They just they do it right. I wish more companies would follow their blueprint. Joe Hervey says, worst amp I've ever owned was an Ibanez Tone Blaster. Yep, that's what it was called. You need to go watch my worst amps ever video if you haven't seen it, because that amp was featured. Rockin' Dave Byron says, hey Robert, have you ever seen an Epiphone Spotlight guitar dubbed the Lawsuit guitar? It looks like a PRS, only ran 87 to 88. I got one curly amber finish. I won't let go. I don't know if I've ever seen one of those. Somebody did send me a link or a photo or something. A buddy of mine, pardon me, did send me a link here the other day. Of an old Epiphone from that era that it looked more like a Gibson M1, though now that I think about it, it wasn't a PRS type guitar. I'm not sure that I've ever seen that one, to be honest. Send me a photo of it. I'm curious. Todd Flowers, your first amp was a Fender Deluxe Reverb. Wow. Yeah, I bet you do. Especially Late 60s. Well, if it was the late 60s, it may still been a silver. Was it silver face or black face? Michael D says, I love my Schecter, Sun Valley Super Shredder, and Zaki Vengeance. I demoed a Super Shredder, Sun Valley Super Shredder on my channel last year, and that one of those may be my next guitar. I don't know. I don't know. There's my next guitar is likely going to be another Schecter because they've got some really, really cool stuff out there right now. Between that and the Banshee, some of those really, really ultra thin neck profiles that they've got with, there's a lot to choose from, But I'm still stuffing my sock drawer. So I've got a guitar or two I'm thinking about selling, but I haven't quite decided yet. So. Have a good one, Dave. Laney linebacker. I think I remember those being. Those are pretty cool. William Woodward says hello from Cincinnati. That just now reminds me, I totally forgot to text Jim Woodard. Told me to message him before I went live, and I got busy taking care of the dog and stuff before I did that. Oh well. Jim, if you see this later on, my apologies, dude. Oh. Sorry, guys. J-Dog says, you like thin necks. I learned on an acoustic, so getting into electric, I found I always enjoyed a large neck. I have, I didn't really used to be all that picky about neck profiles. But, let's see, I just wanted it set up right. Low action, regardless of how fat the neck was. And then about, 2-3 years ago, I guess it was. Well, no, it's more than that. It had to be when I got my Schecter, when I got my Blackjack, because that one's got the SLS neck profile. This what do they call that? The Slimline series or something like that. I can't remember exactly what SLS stands for, but it's a really, really thin, like Ibanez thin or thinner neck profile, and I just fell in love with playing that guitar. And then I picked up my a few years ago. I picked up my BC Rich ASM Pro, the white one, that white Super Strat with the EMGs, and which is just now occurring to me for a video that I edited last night, why I didn't grab that guitar instead of something else. But that one's got an uber thin neck on it too, and then I kind of realized most of my BC Riches have an uber thin neck on it, and then I realized it's just kind of what I gravitate towards. So Agile guitar. Christopher Townley says, have you ever checked out the Agile guitars? Are awesomely priced. The older Agile are superior in my opinion. I haven't played any of their newer stuff, but yeah, I've played several Agile guitars, and you're right. They're, for what they kind of, at first glance, they kind of come off as a, like an inexpensive knockoff brand of some kind, and and I suppose essentially they are, but no, you're right. They're actually extremely well made. They've got some really, really good Les Paul style guitars. And I actually one time I played a V. I think it was a 7-string V that was came loaded with EMGs in it. That was pretty top notch. I need to. I don't know. There's a lot of those companies that are just making really, really good products right now. With Agile and Harley Benton, and now we've got that 10S Guitars brand that starting to poke their heads up in various different places. There's a lot of small small guitar companies being made overseas that are building guitars better than a lot of companies. So Brian Cote is with us. Well, we've been at this thing for an hour and a half now, and the truth is, I still have another video to edit for not this coming week, but the following week. And I also have a list of honeydew stuff that I need to take care of for Mrs. Jackson for the upcoming Easter holiday tomorrow. So, by the way, I did want to ask, a lot of you seem to really like the video that I put up here on Wednesday about my journey into the studio world. So I'm gonna continue with that series here for a little while, and my journey into the studio recording world. So a lot of people, I got that was a really, really positive response from a lot of you. So, and I honestly, I didn't expect that. I just kind of was doing that for my own enjoyment. But a lot of you actually really seem to like it. So I'm gonna keep doing it, and we're gonna learn some recording 101 stuff together. Park says, oldest year guitar owned mine is a 1950s Gretsch Synchromatic Acoustic. The oldest guitar that I own is probably, believe it or not, I think it's my bass, my BC Rich Eagle bass. It's a Hey, Guitar Hack is with us. Welcome, sir. It's a 1978, I think. One of the serial numbers of that particular series are kind of hard to date. Because what happened was they ran out of serial numbers. Those basses out of that series, and the guitars and basses out of that series, it was a neck through NJ series. So it was neck through made in Japan from between like 78 and 82. There was they ran out of. They sold so well in 78 that they ran out of serial numbers. They didn't have any choice but to start using the 79 serial numbers. And so by the time they got all the way up to 82, all the serial numbers, were a huge mess. And then finally they ended it and updated the line and did something different. But that's probably the oldest instrument that I own is that 78. The next one in line after that is actually my 84 Kramer that I grabbed earlier, sitting right behind me. And the next oldest after that would be my 85 Hamer Scarab. Followed by, I believe, my 87 Charvel Model 5. Have you tried the high-end AR series Ibanez guitars? I have not. While I do still work in the MI business, unfortunately, I don't work in a location where all the gear is. So, the gear that I get access to try here is, in my hands is actually, and I do get to try some on occasion, but it's a lot more limited than it was when I was at the store. So, hunt eggs in the mud. Yeah, you and my wife seem to think alike. Yeah. So, anyway, I've got a list of things that I need to do. So, thank you all very much for the positive response to Wednesday's video. As I mentioned, for those of you just not joining us, which I think is most of you, RJ DeMadden was the first one in here. He's still hanging in. But for most of the rest of you, I imagine, I think I'm going to start doing my live streams here on Saturdays. And Saturday's video will be moved to Sunday morning. So that's why there was not a video this morning. It'll go up tomorrow. YouTube no likey when two uploads on the same day. So YouTube no likey, YouTube algorithm no likey. So I'm going to flip flop them here for a while because by doing this live stream here on Saturdays, this is the Mrs. Jackson is at work, so I don't have to worry about disturbing her with my loud and boomy, obnoxious YouTube voice. And I can cut up and say some stupid jokes and do something really, really stupid every now and again without her getting mad at me. She gets mad at me even when I take a phone call in the house because I talk too loud on the phone. So, so we're gonna try this schedule here for a while, and I think it's gonna end up working out better for everybody because like I said, I get to cut loose a little bit more, and I think that's going to make for a more enjoyable viewing experience for you fine viewers, which is obviously the most important thing to me. So, for those of you that took the time to donate to the channel today, thank you very, very much. Really does mean a lot. It really, really does mean a lot. So, thank you very, very much, and I will see you guys here. I imagine I will see you guys. You guys will see me tomorrow, and I will see you guys here very, very soon. So, au revoir.